Hi everyone, welcome scholars, alumni, and family members. I'm so excited to give everyone the big welcome to our second annual Career Week. I am Maria Saenz. I'm the Assistant Program Manager for Career Programs. You may have seen my name on many emails that have been sent out or even had a chance to meet me in person. I've been responsible for designing and executing new career readiness program like the Career Readiness Cohort Series, organizing the Summer Opportunities Fair, and working to expand programming and resources for scholars and college-age alumni. The Scholar and Alumni Success Team was created just a year ago, and since then we have been able to stand up a lot of new programming for scholars across the country. This has been possible thanks to you, scholars, and alumni, and family members today that are participating. You have been active members in our community. We'd also like to give a thank you to alumni who are participating. This year, we've been able to bring together a record number of A Better Chance alumni who will speak about their educational and professional pathways towards the leaders they are today and connect with current scholars. On behalf of A Better Chance, I would also like to thank our corporate partners, including Morgan Stanley, Xerox, Marsh McLennan, State Street, Stanley Black & Decker, and more. You may all have the opportunity to connect with them as well throughout the week. I'd like to give a special thanks to Morgan Stanley, who has been an instrumental partner towards really expanding the career readiness programming at A Better Chance. Career Week this year is complete with over 30 individual sessions, representing careers across 7 verticals, including technology, creative, health, and more. I hope that means that you're all able to find a career path that you're interested in exploring or learning about an entirely new field. At Better Chance scholars and alumni, you have a resourceful and engaging community to tap into. And avenues like Career Week are important moments to build community, share knowledge, and open doors for connection. To continue our opening ceremony, we'll also hear from A Better Chance President and CEO Francisco Tezen, alumna Selma Gutierrez, and A Better Chance board member Akene Zulike. Please welcome now Francisco.
Hello, everyone. My name is Francisco Tezen, President and CEO of A Better Chance. I am honored to welcome you to the opening of A Better Chance's second annual Career Week. Thank you for joining us. I'm excited about the programming that our Scholar and Alumni Success Team have developed for this Career Week. This is one of the most important things that A Better Chance can do to support you, because building a good career requires a commitment to lifelong learning. And as leaders, we're always growing and evolving. With over 30 programmatic offerings this Career Week from March 19th to March 26th, our scholars and alumni will have the opportunity to learn about career pathways in financial services, legal careers across corporate, civil rights, and entertainment law, careers in social work, anti-racism activism, social justice and service, building careers in social media and digital storytelling, days in the life of professionals ranging from an emergency medicine doctor to someone leading diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives at a Fortune 500 company, opportunities in technology, user experience design, machine learning, and so much more. The feedback of scholars, alumni, and parents has helped shape our Career Week programming. We heard time and again the importance of early career exposure and support that traverses the journey from scholar to alum. And this parallels calls by educators, employers, and policymakers for more robust efforts to provide students and young adults with exposure to career paths and the world of work throughout the transition into adulthood. Researchers have found that these early career experiences help students make the connection between school and careers, start developing critical skills and learning mindsets, and may even contribute to better jobs and pay well into your careers. And this exposure is coming at such a pivotal moment, at a time when companies are increasingly investing in advancing diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, at a moment where we're seeing generational shifts and changes in the composition of the workforce. And given the last 2 years that reshaped so much of our daily lives, leading to more intentional conversations about how we work and what does it mean to have work-life balance, to promote wellness in the workplace, and so much more. And that is why I'm so excited about this week's programming, because you, our scholars and alumni, will be, regardless of what career path you choose, architects of the future of work. You are emerging leaders who have the education, the transferable skills, the deep networks anchored by the A Better Chance community, and leadership qualities needed to not only reshape the world of work, but truly also remake our world, to transform it into a better, more just, equitable, and kinder version of it. We could not implement an effort like Career Week without the help of our community and partners. So, echoing Maria's words, big thanks to our alumni who are joining us over the course of this week to share their wisdom and experiences. Thank you again to Morgan Stanley for their partnership in making this week's programming possible as part of our collaborative work with the firm and 6 nonprofit partner organizations that are banding together over the next 5 years as part of Morgan Stanley's Equity in Education and Career Consortium, helping to support pathways to college and career success for underrepresented communities. And big thanks and appreciation to all of our Career Week partners, Arnold & Porter, Capital One, Marcia McLennan, Stanley Black & Decker, Straight Street Global Advisors, and Xerox. It is now my pleasure to welcome Ekene Ezulike, Global Head of Corporate Services at Morgan Stanley and a Better Chance board member, to share his journey with you.
My name is Ekene Ezulike. I was born in a small town in the east of Nigeria called Enugu. When I grew up in Nigeria, one of the things that my parents kind of imbued on me and my 3 brothers was education, education, education is the equalizer that creates a level playing field for everybody, not only in their lives, but also fundamentally in their career. And true to form, my parents chose to send me and my brothers to top boarding schools in the United Kingdom. And that started my path and my journey to become educated. So I specifically did a master's degree. I did a PhD. And from there, I had this ambition, just like my father, who was an engineer, to effectively be somebody who ultimately would, with time, run a construction company like my dad did. So that was the path that started me, made me intellectually curious. It made me being somebody who wanted to deliver the best they could in terms of fulfilling their potential. But that set me up for who I am today. My father ultimately was the big inspiration in my life. He's somebody that started out in circumstances that many would consider to be disadvantaged. His father died when he was 2 years old. His mother died when he was in his teens. And he was effectively, as an African, as the head of the family, he was the one that was expected to then look after his siblings. So my dad ultimately chose a path of getting educated. He went to sort of like high school, he went to university, but he also had the additional responsibilities that he had to look after his twin brother and his half sister and figure out how to earn enough money to educate them as well as himself. So my father was academically brilliant. He got a scholarship to go to the UK university in the UK. And in going to the UK, he ultimately went back to Nigeria to start a construction company and became the preeminent construction person for erosion control schemes in the east of Nigeria, where I grew up. So in many respects, my dad has inspired me, because if he was able to achieve what he achieved over the years, starting from a position where he had very little, I felt that I could also equally achieve a lot when I had a lot kind of provided to me. So whether it's the boarding school education, the PhD, or whether it's the master's degree, I felt that I had a stronger platform in which to be successful than perhaps my dad was. Like I said, my dad is my biggest inspiration. And one of the attributes that really defined who my dad was actually having courage in the face of adversity, and also being very tenacious when faced with adversity. So what I'm going to now talk to you about is how I've dealt with a very difficult moment in my career and how that's driven my learning and growth. So one of the difficult professional moments that I had was actually when in a role that was an MD, a managing director role, but I needed to get promoted to be a managing director. And I remember that I was particularly obsessed about getting the title of managing director and all it kind of was associated with it, the status, the fact that I was part of the broader leadership team within this big financial institution that I worked in. But one thing that happened was that my boss at the time, a great person, Jeff Bear, effectively said to me that, Ekene, right, I am not going to promote you this year because you know what? You're somebody that's incredibly talented, and you think because you're in a managing director seat and role at the moment that we will promote you. And also he sort of said to me that, Ekene, you as an individual is somebody that's incredibly talented. You are setting your bar too low. Being a managing director alone is not the end point of your career, it's the start of your career. And so what he decided to do was actually he said, no, you're not going to get promoted. You need at least 1 or 2 more years to prove yourself. And until you prove to me, Ekene, that fundamentally, right, you are reset your expectations high, and you prove to me that you're operating at the managing director level, all promotions were off. So in many respects, I was kind of devastated at the time, and I thought, oh my God, maybe this is a broader signal. Maybe this individual, Jeff Bear, didn't believe in me. Maybe, I'm not as good as I thought I was. But being somebody that's tenacious, like my father that I spoke about earlier, I decided to get into focus and focus on doing my job and doing my job well. And so what I'd sort of say is the key learnings that I had from this experience is that one is it's fine to believe in yourself, but fundamentally don't believe in your hype, first thing. Second thing it taught me was that you have to set your expectation higher, right? Being an MD is not the end point. If you're ambitious and you want to occupy more senior roles in the organization, see the MD or that role as a stepping stone that gets you there, but always maintain your standards very, very high. And then the third thing that I think I learned from that experience is also challenge yourself to do things that are fundamentally different. When you do things that are fundamentally different, what it allows you to do in your career is to effectively develop the skills that you have, but also allows you to kind of continue to learn and grow and become a better leader in the future. So I was very grateful to Jeff because he gave me a massive learning experience, and that massive learning experience has made me infinitely stronger as a leader who aspires to do more in the future. Look, not all of the moments that I've had in my career have been ones that have been difficult. Some of the moments that I've had in my career have been seminal moments that has enabled me to not only learn from the experience, but also to fundamentally drive my development and growth. There are 2 examples that I'd like to give you that actually did that for me in my career. The first example was when I was watching a cricket game in the UK many, many years ago. And I was at a cricket game with 3 people that I knew, 2 very well. One was part of a network that I had in the UK. And during that game, one of the people effectively propositioned me and sort of said, hey, Ekene, I need somebody that's like you that could work for me in my financial institution to lead a particular function in my group. And I sort of said, hey, Alan, who was the person, Alan, of course I'll do that. If you pay me enough, right? I'll ultimately do the role. So what he did when I was riding a taxi home after the sporting event, I got a text message from him that's sort of saying, hey, Ekene, I need somebody to do this role, and I'm also willing to pay. Do you want to play with me at my financial institution? And lo and behold, 6 months later, I joined this financial institution, which has actually helped me develop and grow over the years. The second moment that I would sort of say is more around kind of a little bit my mindset whenever I'm faced with a new role. I'm one of those people that has an imposter syndrome in the sense that I sometimes believe that I fundamentally couldn't do that big stretch role that's put in front of me. So I often have the doubt, can I do it? Have I developed the skills? Have I done X, Y, and Z to be able to kind of justifiably be credible in that role? So what I've actually sort of learned to do is actually sort of internalize a lot of that sort of kind of concern and exude to people the confidence that I am somebody, even though that I have certain gaps in capability, I'm smart enough to overcome those gaps. Even when I have gaps in capability, I am strategic enough, right, to close those gaps. Even if I have gaps in terms of the team that I inherit, that I can build a leadership team that allows to do that. So I think the learnings from these 2 moments have kind of taught me that, one is having a strong network is important. 2, believing in yourself and your capabilities. And, your desire to fulfill your potential is important. And three, no problem cannot be solved either by yourself or with a bunch of smart people to allow you to overcome and actually grow as well. So I think these moments have helped shape my career, and I think I'm fundamentally stronger as a result of that. One of the key lessons that I've had over the years is that in order to develop my career, having a selection of mentors who are outside of my direct organization can effectively give you the counsel, the advice, and also the support to continue to sort of grow and develop as you move through the stages of your career. I've been particularly blessed in that I have had in the last 10 years, 3 mentors that have completely different, diverse backgrounds that have given me completely different, diverse views, right, on how to manage my career and how to make better decisions around key moments in my career. The first person is an African-American leader here in the US. He's one of the senior people that's on the operating committee of UPS, a chap called Kevin Warren. The second person is a white Jewish guy who was the person that I spoke to about earlier, who told me to aspire to kind of do bigger roles and not set my bar too low, Jeff Bear. And then the third person is a wonderful, wonderful woman, Kim Hammonds, who originally I worked with at my previous financial institution, but became a very good mentor for me, but also now a personal friend, who's also always pushing me to kind of fulfill my potential as well. And I think with these 3 individuals, one of the things that I always sort of say to people when you choose mentors, and it's very, very important that you choose your mentors, is that choose mentors the one you like spending time with. There's nothing worse than having a mentor that you don't like spending time with. Second, choose mentors who fundamentally have had experiences, right, at the next level up. So if you're at this level in the organization, you want to get to this level or 2 levels or 3 levels up, choose mentors that have had those experiences, can actually share that with you. And then the final piece that I'd sort of say is with mentors is also choose mentors who share or have shared values to yourself. So whilst Kim, Kevin, and also Jeff came from very, very different backgrounds, they had similar values. There were values that resonated with me, and they've been pivotal in driving my career development and growth over the years. So I've talked a lot about my career journey and what's influenced that over the years, but let me now kind of trying to summarize and give you ABC scholars who I know are tremendously talented individuals, who I know will become future leaders in the communities that you all come from. So I'll give you kind of 4 pieces of advice that hopefully should set you up for the future. One is believe in yourself. Whilst it seems obvious, sometimes we go through stages in our career when we don't always have that belief in who we are. But my view is that if you don't believe in yourself, then ultimately, why should anybody believe in you? The second piece of advice is have a growth mindset, right? Never be satisfied that you know your area and that is what you do. Always look to learn about different areas that might be adjunct to those areas that you're working in or where you're experiencing your first career thing to actually sort of like push your development and growth. Third thing that I would sort of say is learn to hustle. I'm a born hustler. I'm from Nigeria, and everybody that knows Nigerians knows they're hustlers, right? You know, when a door sometimes shuts, right, don't always assume that that door will be shut forever. And every time you see that the door is slightly open, always kind of push as hard as you can through hustling to effectively make sure that that door opens and that opportunity becomes your own. And the third thing I would sort of say is be yourself, right? We're all very different. We all have different backgrounds, right? Be yourself. Being your authentic self allows people to access really who you are. It will help you build relationships with people. And if ultimately you build relationships with people, that gives you the opportunity to continue to develop and grow. And one final thing I'll leave you with is that every single job that I've had since college has actually been built through the relationships that I had with other people. I've never formally applied for a role. I've always been invited by people to consider a role as being the next stage to allow my development and growth. So you ABC kids are fantastic. I love serving for the ABC board. You do great work. We do great work. And I'm hoping you found this kind of session useful as we go through the following sessions and later on today. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Salma Gutierrez and I attended New Roads High School in Santa Monica, California and graduated in 2017. I then attended Seattle University and graduated last June with my Bachelor's of Art in Sociology. Reflecting on my academic journey and the steps it took to get to my now career at Xerox, I owe a big thank you to A Better Chance. 8th grade me would have never thought the route I took would have been possible. I'm grateful that I took that leap of faith to go through the process of testing and interviewing and learning more about what ABC had to offer. I highly recommend taking advantage of the programs that ABC has to provide. They are ever changing. You truly never know where those roads will lead you. After graduating college, I had no idea where my career path would lead me. I received an email in mid-June about a partnership with Xerox that they were offering ABC scholars and alumni an internship. I filled out the application, not knowing if I would ever receive another email back. Thankfully, I received a chance to interview and got a position to intern in human resources in the Diversity, Inclusion, and Belonging department. Xerox sent me for training in their Connecticut office for 2 weeks. I met another ABC scholar, Sarah Camacho, who was also interning in the same department I was in, and introduced me to people around the office. As an intern, I learned many ways in which Xerox's corporate philosophy and diversity roadmap are actions that I strongly believe in and love to be a part of to make a difference. Since this is my first role in dealing with corporate business, I've had the privilege to work closely with A Better Chance and other great companies who believe in a diverse workplace. Before the internship was going to end, I was offered a full-time position as an HR program manager, working closely with Dr. Yetta Tolliver and early career recruiting. If it was not for ABC and the many amazing programs and guidance they had to present, I would not be in the place I am now. It truly is a full circle moment for me, and having A Better Chance believe in me and the potential I had when I was 12 years old. I really want to say thank you to A Better Chance and Xerox, and a word of advice for those who are in the same position I was in a couple of years ago. Read every email and take that leap of faith, whatever it may be. The outcome can be greater than you imagine. Thank you.